We will be creating a simple program that will ask the user to enter his or her username and password, and if the username is not correct, it will show username entered is not correct. If the password is not correct, it will show password entered is not correct. However, if the username and the password are both correct, it will prompt the user to the welcome screen. So first, we will be asking the user to set up a fixed value for his or her username and password. So I will be printing here, create your account. Then I will be using variable UN for the username. And then we will be asking for the user to set up a fixed value. So we will be using the input function, username. Then we will be using variable PW for the user to input a fixed value for the password. So I will be using the input function again. Password. Now that we were able to ask for a fixed value for the username and password, we will now be testing the operation, or we will validate the values. So let me first put a border here, /n for next line. I'll just be using some bars to separate this. /n. Now we will test the values, or we will validate the values using the if-else logical operation. So first, we will be asking for the username. I will be assigning variable u for the username. So I will be now asking the user, what is your username? And let's have it on the next line. So I'll be placing \n. So again, let's use the input function for the user to input his username. Enter. So we will be using the logical operation if. So if u is equal to the fixed value for the username, then we will be asking for the user to enter his or her password. So I will be assigning variable p for the user to input his or her password. Now, for us to be able to check if the password is the same as the fixed value that was entered or that was set up by the user a while ago, we will be using the if logical operation again. So if p is equal to pw, then it will print the welcome message. So welcome. However, if the password is not correct, we will also be printing another message. So we'll be pairing this if function with the else function. So make sure that you are mindful of the indentation or the white space, because that indicates the scope for a particular operation. So else, if this condition is not met, then the system will print password entered is not correct. Now let's go back to this operation. If in any cases that this operation is not met, we will also be placing another message. So we will be pairing this with an else function and make sure that they are both on the same indentation. So I will be using else again, and then we will print username entered is not correct. Now to test if this is working, let's first save it. using now let's try to run our program now. So it's asking me for my account, so I will be setting up cjoy for my username and my password is cj12345. Now it's asking me for my username. Let's try to enter a different username. So let me input Siege. Okay, so I've got an error message saying that the username that I entered is not correct. Now let's run it again. Okay, so same thing. I will be placing cjoy for my username and my password is cj12345. Now I will be entering the right username. Then let's try to enter a different password. Let's say cj123. So I've got an error message saying that the password entered is not correct. So let's fix this. Let's put /n. Now let's run it again. So this time we will be entering the right username and password. And there we get the welcome message. So the program is up and running.